Welcome back to Wellness as a Way of Life. Waking up here with the birds of Chiapas. There was a fierce rainstorm last night. It is rain season here in the summer months, and it's the calm after the storm. Absolutely beautiful sunrise, pink, purple, blues, oranges, some wispy clouds. And I felt inspired to record this episode about the sixth pillar in my 6 pillars of optimal wellness, joy and creativity. When I'm working specifically with women, I really include what my spiritual guide has instilled in me as the new feminine trinity, which is spirituality, is creativity, is sexuality. So there is a beautiful triangle of multi-layered relationships there. But for anyone and for everyone, I encourage you to consider how you can put 1 hour of joy on the calendar every week. This is not a daily practice. This is a weekly practice. And if you're at a loss for what sparks joy for you, I think one great source of inspiration can be your childhood. Think back between the ages of 7 and 12. Was there something that you were really interested in, or something really simple that you love to do? So going back to my own experience, I remember I had this big, beautiful backyard, the first house I lived in, and there was, it wasn't a big hill because I was a kid, but just enough of an incline on the grassy hill that we could roll down. It took you 2 minutes to roll down gently. And something about this rolling in the grass and looking at the grass and then up at the sky, it was joyful. Another thing that I bring into my life more as an adult, because it sparked joy as a kid, is coloring. And now they have its whole industry of adult coloring books, mandalas, different skyscapes of different parts of the world. And a couple years ago, I received for Christmas, was what I asked for, a box of pencil crayons that, I don't know, there's somewhere between 300 and 500, I can't remember, but it's just like a rainbow of colors and shades. And so even just opening it sparks joy for me. So I should honestly set aside more time to do that. I do it very religiously at Christmas every morning. I buy a new adult Christmas coloring book, listen to Christmas carols, and I sit in front of the tree and I color. But you can incorporate these things throughout the year, and they can be seasonal, don't think that the one thing you're going to have joy on the calendar has to be the same every week. That already for me and my personality sparks less joy. Just have an hour open where you're going to do something for yourself. Maybe it's a bubble bath. Maybe it's lying on the couch and doing absolutely nothing, just enjoying that joyful feeling of not having to be anywhere, not having to do anything for anybody, not having to have a conversation or be paying attention. Do not overcomplicate this. Some other ideas, maybe you want to take a Zumba class. Maybe you can find something going on in the local park and you just jump in and it's not so much a plan. Maybe you like going to a farmer's market and sitting down and having a latte and some fresh baked bread or some. This summer, I am so looking forward to dialing into the fresh berries and peaches, rhubarb, all that the summer bounty has to offer. And really just being all there when you're doing something that sparks joy. One last sort of thread that I'll pull on here. Ooh, have you gotten onto threads yet? So the other thing I wanted to drop or plant for you that has occurred to me and really shifted in a positive way things for me in my parenting, or really just even travel in general. I used to operate from this mindset of always looking to get the most out of my money or the most bang for my buck. So if just today we're about to go to our local zoo, and we used to go and feel the need to do the entire, to see the whole walk, the whole thing, all the animals. Here we are, back with the animals. And the moment I gave myself permission to be okay with going to the zoo and seeing like the 3 or 4 animals that are my favorite and walking out, like nobody said who defines bang for your buck, spark joy for an hour. For me, taking myself and particularly my children and a bunch of, having to plan a whole day, that does not spark joy. But just showing up and hanging out with the monkeys and the gorillas and the hippos. What else? Maybe some bears, and watching them be cute and, trying to get into their heads about what they're thinking or what's going on or how they're enjoying their lives. That sparks joy. And just taking all the pressure of it needing to be this big day versus having to spend hours. No, like go to your favorite museum and just sit in front of your favorite work of art. Go to the aquarium and just watch, or go, maybe there's one of those cool things where you can like walk through the tunnels, and basically you feel like you're in the ocean. Just sit there and journal, or, take some pencil crayons and maybe you feel like coloring there. Really encourage you to think outside of the box. This doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be the same thing. The idea is just to give yourself some emotional, physical, and spiritual and mental space to spark joy and do something that you really love to do, that puts you at ease, that excites you, that puts a smile on your face. Super, super simple. So I hope you like this idea. And I always love hearing what sparks joy in other people. So feel free to send me a message and let me know. You can find me on all the socials at Megan Swan Wellness. Thanks so much for listening. Big love and optimal wellness.